So I would like to start with this quote. This was recently said about us. As you all know, in the startup industry, in many places in the last couple of years, it was all about growth, growth, growth. And once we're there, we can look at profitability. Gorillas arguably has been one of the biggest cases in those areas. So they're desperately looking to get profitable. So what makes a manager of one of those cases consider us one of their paths there? I'll tell you more about that in just a second. Before, I would like to show this graph to you. This is how cargo bikes have been growing in sales in Germany in the last couple of years. Every year, at least 40% growth. Last year, over 60% growth. They're selling like hotcakes. And it only makes sense. A cargo bike can carry the same weight as most cars, does that in a completely green way. And nowadays, with e-support, they're also very easy to ride. But there's much more potential than this. For most of us, it makes sense to just run a cargo bike every now and then. But at the moment, if you want to use a cargo bike, you will have to buy it. You go to an old school dealership, maybe you get your 10, 15 minutes test ride, and that's it. But for most of us, we only need that every now and then, and it doesn't justify spending several €1,000 on a vehicle like that. So instead, it makes much more sense if we share these vehicles, and that is what we've put up with Avocargo. So you can now rent cargo bikes the same easy way as you know it from e-scooters, those sort of companies. And if you go shopping at one of our retail partners, they will even cover a part of your rental fee for you. So now you may be worried that we'll have the same disaster as with the e-scooters everywhere, laying around, being in the way, just with much better vehicles. But actually, that's not the case. Cities from around Europe have been approaching us already because they see us as an essential piece to going car-free. About 50% of our rentals would otherwise be done by car. On top of that, we're very city-friendly. So if you want to end the rental, you have to be in the business area, of course, but you also need to tie the vehicle to a fixed structure, like a lamp post or a street sign or something like that. On top of that, you also have to do a photo, of course. With that, we have done over 10,000 rentals, and we haven't had a single city official complain about anything on our side. So we created the easiest entry option into cargo bikes. About 70% of our users had never sat on a cargo bike before they tried Avocargo. But some of them now, especially families, are looking to cover more of their mobility needs with a cargo bike. So now we also will start a subscription feature where you will be able to get your very own Avocargo bike, plus some upsellings like a rain cover or some bike gear. And if you have any issues with your bike, you simply put that outside, grab a different bike, and you're mobile again. This is, of course, very important for families that completely rely on these vehicles. After all, if your cargo bike breaks, you're not going to go on an e-scooter with 2 little kids. So what does all of that have to do with gorillas and making them profitable? The e-commerce or the quick commerce industry is all about how many deliveries a rider can do in a given time. And that's especially during the peak times. So for example, in the case of gorillas, when it starts raining, we did one pilot with them last year in a normal hub. They do about 700 orders on a normal day. When it starts raining, they do 2,000 orders. So then your little backpack, of course, doesn't allow you to start stacking. You need a cargo bike for that. But changing your entire fleet to cargo bikes will completely clog up your warehouse. It's just not feasible. With our model, these kind of companies will be able to access cargo bikes exactly when they need them and only when they need them. So it gives them the full flexibility to cover the demand peaks and make their money there and become profitable. Apart from the flexibility, they also really need reliability. Downtime is a massive issue. So in our case, similar as with the subscriptions, if your bike doesn't work well, just put it aside, grab a different one, keep going. That even works during a delivery run, so you don't have all the operational hassle of returning your bike to a warehouse. My co-founders and I, we all come from the sharing industry. Car sharing, scooter sharing, moped sharing. We started with 10 bikes about a year ago. By now our fleet is more than 200 bikes large. Most of these vehicles are actually of our new generation, really made for the sharing industry. And also all of these vehicles have been financed externally, so we didn't have to buy a single one of those vehicles, making it very CapEx efficient. We started in Berlin. Just last week we launched Munich, and next year we've got our eyes set on further cities in Germany and in Europe. We're doing that with the threefold of sharing, subscription, and B2B, making it a very efficient model throughout the year and going in a very CapEx-friendly way. So if you're looking to join us, please let me know, and I'll be happy to tell you more about the app that we're going to launch soon. about how we're going to go net profitable next year already, and most importantly, how you can do a test ride. Thank you very much. And also, as the last speaker of the day, I would like to thank Jan and his team for this event, for bringing all of us together. Thank you very much. Looking forward to coming back next year.
Cool. Thank you very much. Wonderful.